Chris Sewall here, baseball card collector, investor, dealer in that order. Welcome everyone. Regular rollers time, but before we jump in, I want to mention that I'll be at the Toronto Sports Card Expo this weekend in Toronto. I'll be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Not going to be there Thursday, but we'll be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Set up at a booth with the man, the myth, the legend, Jeremy Donson, the Texas Snowman. Will be there selling cards. So if you want to come by and just say hi, please do. We'll be buying as always, so if you have cards or a collection you want to bring by to sell, please do, of course. And we'll also be promoting Jeremy's new auction house, Collector Investor Auctions, which I'm a part of, and very exciting that he's going to be launching that pretty soon. And if you make it to the show this weekend, both Jeremy and I will be part of the roundtable discussions on the main stage, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So, come check that out as well. But enough of that. Let's roll. We'll start with one sent in by Neil from Texas, who wrote, not the craziest pickup I've done, but I thought this was cool, identifying different 90s basketball insert variations. I came across this listing, and the full court trap insert, which is the one in the upper right, looks like a normal $2 card, but the embossed golds go for way more money. This goes for the Jordan and the Rodman in this set as well. You can tell in the back photo if it's embossed, and I was able to pick up the Admiral insert for the PC for $8 all in for the lot. I'm a sucker for 90s inserts, especially the metal-looking ones. Just thought this was another cool example to pass along. Yeah, congrats on that pickup. And there's a lot of 90s inserts where they have sort of rare variations that are very easy to miss. And great example of that here, and well done identifying it. Next one is sent by Will, who wrote, I've been on the lookout for a deal on a Zach Grinke rookie card, not because I watch baseball, but because I've always found his story of overcoming depression and anxiety inspiring as someone who's been dealing with the same things. This listing was with Probstein, and there was a nice combo of things going on here in my favor. First, Zach is misspelled Zach with an H in the title, and there was another listing for a different PSA 10 copy of the same card with the same spelling error ending at the exact same time. Using an auction sniping service, I placed a $260 bid on both listings, not really expecting to win either. One listing had two bidders over $260, but I won the second one for well under my max bid with an end price of $203.51. This is the most I've ever spent on a sports card, but I'm thrilled to add this to my collection at an excellent price, comparing this to historical sales. And yeah, look at the past sales of this card in a PSA 10. You can see this is a great price. And I kind of feel this card's a little undervalued in general. I mean, Zach Greinke is a future Hall of Famer, no doubt, and he has very, very, very few rookie cards. 2002 just wasn't a year where they were, mass producing stuff. Or I believe this is his only rookie auto. 2002 UD Prospect Premier Autograph Zach Greinke rookie. He might have a second auto in a brand, but he has very, very few rookies and very, very few autos. And this is, one of his more notable ones. So $200 for a PSA 10. I think that's a good price. Next one was sent by Peter, who wrote, the nondescript title of this listing in the mid-afternoon weekday end time for the auction made sure that not many buyers would find it, and there are only two photos of what looked like about 100 late 60s and 70s cards. However, one of them was a 1969 Topps Willie Mays, so I figured I might as well bid at least the value of that card for the chance to see what was in the rest of the stack. I was one of three bidders and won it for about $30 all in. Turns out that there was way more than the 69 Mays. There was also a 72 Carlton Fisk rookie, a 69 Marichal, several 69 All-Star cards, and several league leader cards from 70 and 71. A 69 Killebrew, but on top of that, there were also 19 high and semi-high number cards, the highlights being a 1970 Frank Robinson and a 1970 Hal McRae rookie. All the cards are low grade, maybe mid-grade at best, but for $30 all in, this gamble paid off. Yeah, love your logic here. This sort of lot you don't want to pay a lot for because you have no idea what's in there, but obviously the 69 Mays, you can certainly, bid the value of that. And it's probably a $20, $25 card, so you're basically free rolling for what you paid on everything else, and it sounds like that paid off well for you. Well done. This was sent by JD, who wanted to share this little find I had while scrolling on ComC. The story behind this card that I think makes it even cooler than the obvious fact of it being a game-used base, but I looked up the game on April 24th, 2001, and I realized that David Ortiz had an RBI single for the Minnesota Twins against the Red Sox. I just thought that was really cool. I knew he played for the Twins, but getting a relic from a game that he played against the Red Sox is a really neat little item. Yeah, that is really cool. I love when cards have an additional story to them like yours here. And I've mentioned many times before, the relics and the jerseys and the base relics I was on this card from the early 2000s and late 90s. They just have a lot more information, a lot more sort of genuine. You can see this tells you the exact game this base was used in. Just a lot more interesting and cooler, in my opinion, than the relics today, where it's this is not from any specific game or event. And yeah, really like the jerseys and the relics from the early 2000s for that reason. Next one was sent by Matthew, a longtime listener, first-time caller. I'm curious to your thoughts on the Kelce brothers, not only their football careers, but their pop culture explosion and potential card value impact. Long story short, I was recently bored browsing eBay and came across this 2017 Kelce Brothers Purple, numbered to only 49. While not a rookie year, 2017 is the first official licensed rookie for the elder Kelce as far as I understand it. A card with both Hall of Fame brothers, low numbered and purple for the Taylor Swift crowd. I thought this was a curious card indeed. I watched the item out of curiosity and the seller made what I thought was a reasonable offer of $249. I'm a low-level collector at best. I rarely pay more than a few $100s for a single card, but I took the offer all in after taxes and shipping about $270. What are your thoughts? So I actually had no idea this card was worth this much. It's just a sort of a standard insert from a not particularly premium brand, Donruss Elite. But the base insert, which is not rare at all, sells for almost $100, and then the purple parallel here out of 49 sells for a whole lot more. So you're right. It's Jason Kelce's rookie year. He started his career much earlier than 2017, but 2017 is the first year that he has cards. So this is his rookie year card. Travis Kelce started his career in 2013, or card-wise anyway. So this would be his fifth year card. But yeah, Jason Kelce's rookie. And sort of significant, like you've noted here. It's the only card to feature both of them, and both of them are future Hall of Famers. And not just that, they're both really all-time greats at their position. So sort of significant there. It's sort of an oddball card to be worth this much is what my immediate reaction would be. But it is also quite unique in the sense that it does sort of represent a unique moment in pop culture history, sort of like like you've mentioned. So I agree with you that if nothing else, it's very interesting. Next one was sent by Sam, who wrote, not sure if this is a good regular roller submission or just a feel-good collector story. Earlier this year, I reached out to you with an offer to buy about 25 graded vintage cards for my collection that didn't really fit my PC anymore. We had a very smooth transaction that netted me some extra hobby dollars that I took with me to the March White Plains card show in New York. I had a couple of Grail cards I was on the lookout for, and while I was very impressed with the quality and quantity of vintage at the show, one card grabbed my attention above all others. The iconic 1953 Bowman color Pee Wee Reese card features one of the earliest action shots on a major sports card and is a card my father always loved when we would go visit card shows together in the early 90s, but we ultimately never got one. Dad isn't with us anymore, but now I have a son of my own, who I hope to share this hobby with. I was able to grab this beautiful PSA 6 copy almost entirely with the proceeds of our transaction. The strategy of consolidating part of my overall collection to be able to afford a big Grail card that would have been tough to save enough for worked out well, part and thanks to you. I encourage other collectors to think about this strategy as it relates to their own collecting journey. Keep on rolling. Thank you, Sam, for sharing that. I'm really happy to hear that everything worked out in that way. A really cool card here that obviously has some, significant family memories for you, and really appreciate the kind words and thank you for the testimonial. Next one is from Patrick, and he wrote, I'm a fan of Trace Jackson Davis, and I like collecting his earliest cards. I always thought that his 2021 Bowman U cards from when he was in college uniform, and they had to Photoshop out the school since it was before NIL money was a thing. Then I saw the listing of an early card of his that I had never seen. 2021 Topps rookie auto card. Here's just a few things that make this seem suspect. Baseball logo on a basketball card. 2021 and 2016 dates listed on the back. The signature seems printed on like it's a facsimile. The position on the back is listed as DH. The card is numbered to 100, but the seller has sold 7 and has 8 more to sell. What are your thoughts on this card? I'll be perfectly honest, I have no idea what this is. I think this is a fake homemade card, but they use Topps. I don't really know. I sort of looked at other eBay listings. There's actually a lot of these sort of cards. I'm going to sort of ask the viewers if anyone knows what this is specifically. My guess is this is not a legit card, but I don't know for sure. This one was sent by Joe, who wrote, what a steal here. Being 40 years old and an 80s, 90s kid, there are inserts and parallels from the era I'm always chasing down. 1997 Donruss had their gold press proofs numbered to 500, and I always thought they looked great with the foil and the die cut. Any one of those cards you can generally expect to pay at least $10 for, more for the Ripken and the Frank Thomas. The Griffey is a silver and likely would fetch in the $10 range as well. I won the entire lot here for less than $10, and because it's through Probstein, I know the buyer won't simply cancel for the lot for selling too cheap. 7 gold die cuts of an all-time greats with bonus Griffey silver is a great use of money in the hobby, in my opinion. Yeah, you did fantastic here. You're right. These there are some gold die cuts in there. And there's a number of cards in here that by themselves cover the entire lot, like you mentioned. So great bargain pickup here. Next one was sent by Grant, who wrote, I recently picked up this 1992 Proline Portraits Paul Tagliabue autograph card. This was a pack-inserted autograph card of the then NFL commissioner. From 1960 until now, the NFL has only had 3 commissioners, Pete Rozelle, Paul Tagliabue, and current commissioner Roger Goodell. Tagliabue was in the seat from 1989 to 2006 and was then inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2020. This card is not too hard to find. I offered $12 and it was accepted. I'm all in for under 18. Under 18 bucks. An NFL Hall of Famer. This is a first autograph card, and someone as significant to the game as the commissioner. I think the dollar per value of history you are receiving here makes this a great regular rollers card. And we'll finish on a vintage bargain. This was sent by Nate the Great, who wrote a 1956 Hall of Famer graded 5.5 rookie card for $98.10 all in. Count me in. I told myself if this goes for under 100 bucks, I'm bidding. Can't believe it did. I'm not sure if it's because of the old SGC label, because of 5.5 in a new label sold for almost $200 a couple hours later. I'll take the old label for $100 less for sure. The card is beautiful. I think it would have graded higher if not for the print line. Decently centered and sharp corners. Honestly, some of the prices on vintage cards are making me nervous about the market, but it's not stopping me from buying and collecting. Yeah, I love this pickup, and the SGC thing. Yeah, definitely. Older SGC labels just go for a lot less than newer labels. So if you don't mind the old labels, that's a good way to maybe pick up some bargains or save a little money on particularly some of your vintage purchases. But yeah, good points all around here. You got a Hall of Fame rookie card. This is his only rookie card of Luis Aparicio, Hall of Famer, 1956. What is that? 75 years old. Solid mid-grade and all in for under 100 bucks. Yeah, I'll call that a vintage bargain. But that's it for this week's regular rollers. Appreciate everyone watching, and thank you everyone for all the great submissions. Hope to see a bunch of you at the Sports Card Toronto Expo, and eat your vegetables. Thanks everyone.